It's another time of Techbridge on Lagos Television. This is the show that connects all the dots for you around the world of technology. We always emphasize on this show that there shouldn't be any reason for you to say that something is impossible, because we know that to a very large extent, with technology, everything is possible. I am Seyifunmi Olatide. I welcome you to Techbridge today on Lagos Television. So today we'll be talking about our digital terrestrial television, and that is DTT. It is still a big thing for us in this part of the world, Nigeria. Some other parts of the world have deployed this technology and they are really enjoying it. So it comes in two ways. The very first part is the part that we need to know more about how DTT works. And secondly, we'll be talking about the present realities, because it's getting closer than we think. So details after this break. Stay with me, Techbridge on Lagos Television. So thank you for staying with Techbridge on Lagos Television. I was talking about the fact that the digital terrestrial television is closer to us than we think. So let me do a little background, or some little background info around this. So DTT is simply the conversion of analog transmission to digital transmission. And from a layman's language, you know that when we say something is analog, it comes with a lot of load, a lot of slow speed, and digital, of course, you can say that it is the peak of technology. So we talk about analog transmission and digital transmission. Most TV stations in Nigeria today are transmitting on analog system, but now there is a new development that wants every TV station to switch to digital terrestrial television. And when we talk about that, it comes with a lot of advantage. So actually this didn't happen out of the blues. It is out of the fact that there is a lot of advantage that we can derive from switching to digital terrestrial television, digital transmission. Apart from the fact that the picture quality is going to be big, it's also going to reduce cost. And that is on the part of the operators. Now let me focus on the viewers, we the consumers of these products. When you talk about switching to digital terrestrial transmission, it comes with a lot of opportunities, because you're going to have access to more channels. Now, most of the time, if you don't have an external antenna, or you don't subscribe to a pay TV, you won't be able to access some channels in Nigeria. But with the switching over to digital terrestrial transmission, there is a lot more you can access. There is a lot more you can have on the same TV. So let's move further. We talk about our digital switch over in Nigeria. It has been an ongoing conversation for some couple of years now. And the federal government actually made a lot of attempts to make sure that every TV station and every household can enjoy this. But up till late last year, that wasn't happening. But we can say that today, the initiative, the energy is coming up again, and the traction about this is getting stronger. So, as it is, digital switchover launches in Lagos in April, and that, of course, people say is something that is worth celebrating. Now, what are the pros and cons of this? How would it work? How would everyone key into it? So let me take you back a little bit. The discussion about digital transmission, digital switchover actually was an agreement reached in Geneva in 2006. And that agreement states that every transmission must be digital, because it is a better way to go, because technology advances, and so digital transmission should also be part of that advancement. So now in Nigeria, the federal government has been able to switch over some transmission in some parts of the country. I know that in Plateau, Jos, Kwara, Kaduna, Enugu, and Osun State, and of course the Federal Capital Territory. The federal government has switched to digital transmission. So they actually want to take it further, and the conversation has been ongoing. The federal government, through the Ministry of Information and Culture and through the Minister Lai Mohammed, have been going around to talk to people, to enlighten them, to sensitize them, and to see how this can work this time. So that special team from the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture was in Lagos, and they had a robust conversation with stakeholders, and eventually they met the Lagos State Governor. And for me, that is also important. So while the minister was with the governor, he was explaining how this works and eventually how the state and the entire nation can benefit from it. So I'll be bringing you some excerpts from that meeting, and it's going to enlighten us more, because really this is coming to stay, if you ask me, because this is where the world is: digital terrestrial transmission. So I go for this quick break. Techbridge on Lagos Television. Thanks for staying with Techbridge on Lagos Television. So let me just move straight to it. So I'll be taking you to the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, when he paid a courtesy visit to the Lagos State Governor, Babajide SANWO-OLU. It is not just a visit, it's actually a meeting. It is actually an avenue to explain how digital terrestrial transmission is going to work in Nigeria. And Lagos is blazing the trail in this second phase of digital switchover. So let's go. It's still Techbridge on Lagos Television.
Digital switchover, Your Excellency, or DSO as we call it, is the process of transitioning from analog to digital television broadcasting. The decision to transit from analog to digital television followed a treaty agreement that was signed at the Regional Radio Communications Conference in Switzerland way back in 2013. And the idea was that to usher in all digital terrestrial broadcasting service for sound and television by target date then of 2015. Really, in layman's language, moving from analog to digital simply means moving from what we have today, which does not allow us to see or view more than probably 6 or 7 television stations with poor quality and poor fidelity, unless you are subscribed to a pay TV. When we move to digital, everybody will have the opportunity of watching at least 60 channels of high quality, production, both sound and fidelity, creating a more equitable, just and people-oriented information society, which will connect underserved populations and the remote communities, thereby bridging the digital divide. Your Excellency, analog broadcasting provides a limited choice of programming, like I explained, due to restricted bandwidth, and it is no longer efficient technology. The same transmission channel used to broadcast a single analog program can carry a multiplex of up to 20 digital programs of equivalent quality. And that's why we'll come back to that later, because people don't often appreciate even the big economy in digital switchover. The spectrum that we all use today to transmit, analog television, this spectrum is in high demand for telecoms, data, and other things. And if we can actually transit successfully from analog to digital, we are going to have enough bandwidth spectrum worth over $2.3 billion to sell to telecoms, to sell to other services. That is why it is important for us to ensure that this transition is smooth and that the switch off from analog is, we do it immediately.
So that was Alhaji Lai Mohammed talking about how digital terrestrial transmission works and probably some little background around it. But beyond that, we could see that it's not just to switch. Of course, it's going to come with some little inconvenience and it needs a lot of sensitization. And probably that is why this episode is dedicated to that in our own way, sensitizing you. So as it is, the way the digital terrestrial transmission is going to work in Nigeria is that every household is expected to have access to a set-top box, and this set-top box is to convert analog transmission to digital transmission on every TV in every home. So with this, it gives every user access to multiple channels. So if we are talking about multiple channels, it means that we're going to have access to more content, and of course content providers are going to have a swell day. And it means that I should also just hint that you can become a content creator because there will be a lot of space for everybody to play. And beyond this, it is also talking digital transmission, is talking high fidelity transmission, because the frequency is going to be very accurate. The pictures and the audio is also going to be on point compared to what we have with analog transmission. And secondly, it's going to come with a faster transmission speed because it is digital. It comes in binaries. It's not coming in light data like what we have in analog transmission. So let's hear it more from the minister.
And this explains why the DSO television platform, our own, which were branded as free TV, is going to offer viewers about 60 digital channels, including sports, music, movie, and news. Free TV is available nationwide today on both the digital terrestrial television (DTT) and direct-to-home (DTH) transmission. In addition to broadcast services, free TV also provides value-added services such as enforcement and collection of TV licenses, premium pay TV channels, push video on demand, information services, and also audio measurement system. See, by the time we go, the DSO is completed and we switch off analog television, the set-top box, every TV household will have a set-top box. So one of the things that this box asks us to do is to measure audience engagement so that it will help television houses to know which particular program should we push. Should it be children's program? Should it be sports? Should it be football? So that's another advantage of this free TV platform that's going to do for us. Right now, sir, we have those who enjoy this free TV. You can order for films directly, Nollywood films, the one you want to watch, and this is going to cut, arrest this issue of piracy, whereby a Nollywood producer will release a film today, by tomorrow it's already in a Alaba market. A major advantage again of the DSO is that viewers will not pay subscription fees. Once you acquire our set-top box, which is about 12,000, you don't pay any subscription. All you need to do at the end of the year, you renew your digital access fee. That's all you do, sir.
So thanks for staying with Techbridge on Lagos Television. So with all that explanation from the Minister of Information and Culture, that is Lai Mohammed, it is also coming to the fact that the host communities have their roles to play and they need to see the advantages in this. According to the minister, there is going to be an access fee, like a token. It's not going to be that expensive for everyone to to pay maybe annually, and you have access to multiple channels. So what are we talking about? We are talking about job creation. We are talking about access to better information. We are talking about a society that is information driven. It means that no one is going to be left behind. Some people are still left behind today because they don't have the fund to subscribe to pay TV. But with the introduction of digital terrestrial transmission in this way Nigeria is approaching it, we can say that we are moving many steps ahead, because information dissemination is going to be more decentralized and more people are going to have access to this. So eventually the Lagos State Governor also threw its weight behind this kind of initiative, and he says that he sees a lot of opportunity around this space for content providers, for TV houses, and even for the government. So let's just hear it from the governor.
The understanding and appreciation of switch movement from the analog setup that we currently have now in terms of communication on the TVs, and we need to move to digital, I think is apt, and it speaks to the reality of where we are today. Digital switch over, like you've called it, I think is long overdue. Even the existing spectrum that the analog sits on, it's not going to be a waste, because it presents a different spectrum where the telcos can play in a different frequency, and so that opportunity is there for Nigeria, which will be the benefit for all of us. But more importantly, it is the opportunity of the reach and the robustness of content coming out from the digital space. The content and the aspirations of our teeming youth in the entertainment, in the tourism industry, becomes a play or a place where they can, espouse and develop talent and see the essence of their talent. And it presents a wider opportunity for Nigerians in general, Lagosians in particular, in this particular case. I think it's pretty clear and it's straightforward. And I think what you need to do is to ensure that the communication is aggressive. The communication, is total, and access in terms of where or how do they pick up, these boxes, the reach for it, the after sales, opportunity, the capabilities are some things that you need to walk through and ensure that the skills that are required are there. And like you said, it's also going to provide a lot of job opportunity for the youth, for the young people, small businesses, and becomes something that everybody should be able to take over and work with very, very quickly. I imagine it's very easy to set up. It doesn't need external, they will need an external, so it's really plug and play, right? That will make it DIY, do it yourself, which are some of the easy ways of enable that you have an easier penetration strategy. We want Lagos to continue to set the pace for the nation. We cannot but allow our citizens, our people, to be exposed to modern international opportunity and best practices, as the case may be. Because communication is critical, information is important, but more importantly, content coming out from it, and we use it to inform our people, engage our people, bring governance closer to our people.
Well, that was the Lagos State Governor, Babajide SANWO-OLU, talking about the position of the state government and his opinion about this. So if you ask me, I also want to align with that, because when it comes to technology, you can't really miss it. So let's all brace up. the digital terrestrial transmission is here to stay, and whenever we have the opportunity to access the set-top box, please don't hesitate, because I understand there is a deadline for every household to switch over to this. And hey, why deprive yourself of plenty when you can have access to it with little or nothing? So that is it. As a way of recap, we're talking digital terrestrial transmission, DTT, and in Nigeria we're having something called digital switchover for all broadcasting houses, and this is coming with a lot of advantages. The very first one we can see here is the fact that it comes with quality picture and quality audio. It also increases the capacity of broadcast transmission network by improving spectrum efficiency. It means that more data is going to be expected to get transmitted within the same bandwidth that we had with analog transmission. And beyond that, it also says that it's going to have less frequency jamming, because with analog transmission we have something called digital noise. That is when you see that you want to tune to a particular station, it is not so clear. At times you might have some other station trying to filter into that same frequency. That is never going to happen with digital transmission by the time we switch completely. And beyond that, we see a lot of job opportunities in this space, because we're going to have TV stations expanding more, TV stations breaking out other parts of their content. And when we break out like this, content providers are going to have a swell day. Creativity is going to be at the peak of it, and of course we're going to have a lot of players in the sector. All this and more are what we should expect in coming days in Nigeria, talking about digital switchover. So the conversation is still ongoing. Yes, it launches in April in Lagos. Some other parts of the country are also going to get their launching dates in subsequent days. So I'm hopeful, and I really want everybody to be hopeful as well, that in no time the entire country is going to switch over to digital transmission, just like how we had it in developed countries. It can happen here in Nigeria. We just believe. I believe in Nigeria, and I believe that it can work here. So that is the show today. Many thanks for connecting with us. Remember that you can connect with Techbridge on Facebook, that is Techbridge LTV, and on YouTube we also Techbridge LTV. Do remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you can have a prompt of this fresh episode and all other previous episodes. And we also want to appreciate everyone who connects with us on Facebook. Your messages and your comments, they are also encouraging. Keep them coming, and we'll continue to do justice to that. So till some other time, keep innovating, keep leveraging on technology, and keep achieving more. I am Sheyifumi Olatide. Bye for now.